Hello traders, welcome to another weekly market overview with me, Pierre from PAFX. I hope you all had a great trading week last week, and I hope that the next week gonna get even better. I didn't really like the trading last week. It was a okay week, but not much happened. So let's see what this week have for us. I'm getting lots of messages about joining my trading room or our chat room, and if any of you still want to join that room and to try for 1 week, get in touch with me, and I will give you the opportunity to do a trial week for free. And for those of you who's asking about the course and mentoring program, I have another batch that will start in February, and it's time now to let me know, because I am getting the registration right now, and as usual they're gonna be only 10 seats for every batch. So yeah, next batch will start in February, and just get in touch with me and I will give you all the details. Yeah, let's start things rolling, and as usual we start with the disclaimer. I want you to read it carefully to know about the risk involved in trading, guys, please, and to understand that this session is not a signal in any way, and that is only my way to see the market and the way I'm gonna be trading it. Yeah. Yep, we start with the usual thing. Take a look at the news calendar. I only have the major impact news. As you know, there is a lots more than this. If you take the medium and the low impact news, you're gonna see that we got much more, but I think the things that we really want to know about are the red ones. We start the week with on Tuesday with the JPY, monetary policy, and the press conference. It's gonna be a high impact news, so very important that you know about it before you enter any trade. Wednesday we do have the sterling average earning. We do have crude oil inventories gonna be important for mostly for of course oil, and USDCAD used to move on those news. And for New Zealand we do have the CPI quarter and quarter, which gonna also be an important news. For the euro we do have minimum bid rate. Nothing is expected more than 0%. And then we do have the CAD core retails, ECB press conference, very important for the euro on Thursday. And Friday GDP prelim for sterling quarter and quarter. We also have CPI monthly for the CAD, advanced GDP for the USD, also important, and core durable goods orders is also important there. And we do have speech from both the BOG and BOE. Another news that you should keep an eye on is of course the government shutdown, which is going on already in the USA. They couldn't find a vote, and everyone is blaming everyone right now. And we do have the coalition vote from Germany, which is in my opinion more important than the shutdown. We're gonna take a look how the last government shutdown in USA went, and how the dollar did react on that. But I think that the coalition in Germany is very important, and I think there was voting about that today, and they are still some headlines about that ongoing. So we may see some gaps today on the open. So we start with the Dixie, guys, and we do have the weekly chart. As you see, last week the Dixie broke an important level down here when it broke below 91, which was a very important low. And if we look left, we see that we actually don't have much structure until we reach this possible support level, and that based on these previous highs back here that was acting as resistance, that may act as support right now. But last week it wasn't as bullish as the previous weeks. As you see, very small body, and we got some rejection going coming from below. We do have still good bullish divergence on the RSI, even on the weekly. And if we go down to the daily, you see that last week the dollar was stuck inside this range, going a sideways, and didn't really do much. The divergence on the daily is even bigger, because as you see, we have a slightly higher low, but if you compare this low, which actually this one here, and this low, which is presenting this low here, you see that there is much lower low on the price. So we do have an early warning for a possible reversal, or at least correction here, but the market didn't really give us that breakout above the neckline in continuation. So if we go down to the 4 hour, we see it more clearly, which is looking something as it happened up here. We had we had this impulse, we had a correction and break, another impulse. Now we have something that looks like a possible correction or a bearish flag, but with all that divergence going on, and the daily and the weekly rejection, I think that there is still a possibility on this triple bottom now that we may see at least a retest of this area that would be in its place. But as for now, we should keep seeing this area down here around the 90.15 as a good support so far. It's been testing three times, almost four if we count these touch here. We have had a possible stop loss hunt here, and since that the market couldn't break below this area, so it is a good support level now, and we do have that divergence going on the 4 hour, and we have this major divergence here between these lows and these lows. So as far as we are trading toward this 90.15 could be a possible level to buy the bounces, and if you really want to be sure that this will reverse, we want to see a break of this neckline up here toward the 91 area would be the level should be broken, retested, and then we may see a continuation back to retest these levels up here. Now we do have this situation about the government shutdown I talked about. I'm not really sure how the market will react on that, and we do have the coalition in Germany. So if the market sentiment gonna be more bearish on the US dollar, and that you want to short the dollar, you want to see this area down here, the 90.15 broken, retested, and then continuation. Yeah, but based on that major divergence we do have on the RSI, I still think that buying the lows here at this support could be a possible scenario to start with, at least short term. Gold. Gold last week did break this trend line. We did retest the monthly R1 from above, got a bounce here, couldn't make new high, which is important if this were reversed, that we don't see new highs on gold. So as for now, we do have a double top, we had a divergence, we have a break of the 20 moving average, a break of the trend line, and we got the bounce here as a possible retest of this broken structure here. And if you are shorting gold, you want to see a break of this previous low here and another retest, then continuation. This area here could be a possible support, and the next level would be down here. Yeah, so before buying gold, I think it needs to correct some more to the downside to give us a better price. Yeah, on the 4 hour, lower low here, another lower high. So we do have two lower lows, we do have two lower highs. What make me think that there is a possibility that we may see a possible reversal here, or at least a correction down toward the 1300 area down here. Yeah, that these highs here may act as possible support before a possible bounce. So if we look at it on the daily once again, that would be this level here, the first support, and of course this one here gonna be a major support at this area down here. Yeah, now you see that we didn't really reach the extreme highs, but daily structure is still a bullish structure, so don't get me wrong here. The structure is still a bullish structure. I'm not saying that we do have a total reversal, but on the 4 hour we do have let's say an early warning that there is a possibility for a reversal, and especially if we see a break of this level down here. If that level got broken to the downside, 1324 got broken, then there is a possibility that we may see more downside on gold. Yeah. Oil also, daily structure is still a very bullish structure. So on the daily we still have higher highs and higher lows. Oil prices did stuck above monthly R2 now after breaking this major high we had. If we look left, after breaking these levels here, the oil did a push to try to continue higher, but then we start seeing some rejection, and on Friday we oil did try to break below this neckline, but then got rejected higher, as you see, making this hammer just above monthly R2, which is considered a very high price. Now on the 4 hour, you see that we do have a clear possible head and shoulders. If we look at it like this, we do have a possible head and shoulders scenario. It seems like the neckline is also broken and got retested. You see how the 20 moving average been respected in the past, got broken. A possible retest now is going on. So we may have seen the start of a possible correction, a deeper correction lower. I think before we buy oil, we want to see it correct back down toward this trend line or the moving average, and the best level would be a retest toward a deep retest toward the monthly pivot point and this broken structure here that never really got retested before taking a long. Yeah, so where oil is right now, there is a possibility that we may see a short-term down movement, and if we look at the RSI, we see that it have been at the extreme highs and start dipping lower for now. AUSDJPY, we are inside this range now. The low is down here, 87.300, and the high was the 89 area. If you look at the RSI, we had a clear bearish divergence between this high and this high. I was expecting it to reach a little bit higher. That would be great if we really touched the monthly R1, or possibly also make something like this, possible fake out before a reversal. Now on Friday we got a very nice bearish engulfing candle, and there is a possibility that we may see at least some range bound trading on this pair for next week. Yeah, the level is a high level, as you see. If we look left, it is an important area. This support, previous support, acting as resistant right now, and I still see it as a very important resistant level. I see this breakout here earlier as a possible fake out only, since the price went back inside and start trading lower. Okay, so keep an eye on if you are holding a short based on this double top scenario and the divergence and the bearish engulfing on Friday. If you are holding a short, of course you should be targeting the previous lows down here. Yeah, on the 4 hour we still also in a bearish bullish trend for this move, but now we did break below previous low, and the monthly S1 did a retest, and it seems that the market's objective is to reach back down toward these levels. Yeah, so for next week I think any correction higher back up would be a good to try to short it from the high again. Aussie USD help us also think that there is a possibility for AUSDJPY to go down if the Aussie USD also did start maybe reversing here. As you see, it is in a very strong uptrend. No one can argue with that. The daily structure is still a bullish structure, but now we reached the monthly R2, which is a very, very high level. Also on the RSI we do have great bearish divergence. So as you see here, the wicks are coming from the upside now. The area, if we look left, it is an important level, even though there is a possibility in go and test the extremes highs. But the thing that we are testing monthly R2 is a very, very high level. The move is extended, never had a really deep correction, so I'm having very hard time buying even though the trend is very strong. So that's why I'm looking for a deeper correction to make a buy, and the first buying level that would be back down toward this structure and the monthly just around the monthly R1 area. If you are holding a short based on this bearish divergence on the 4 hour, you see it clearly here. It did reverse at the monthly R2, still not breaking below the 20 moving average on the 4 hour, which can be your filter if you want to play it safe, that you wait for the 4 hour to break and close below the 20 EMA, maybe do a retest, give you a completion of a possible shoulder, head, shoulder, and then a continuation probably back down toward this level, which can be your first buy level. And if that broken, then of course the next area would be down here at these areas around the point 78 area. Yeah, but we are talking about counter trend trading here, so you should be very careful. But I'm basing my idea on the divergence on the RSI and that we are at a good high level on the price. Okay, so this could be an early warning, but let's not forget we're still in a bullish structure on almost all time frames. But either way, we can't buy when the price is at these levels. Yeah, that is like buying toward resistance right now. So you either try to take the correction to the downside or wait for it to reach these levels and try to buy it from this area if you only want to trade with the trend. Okay. EURUSD also did move lower last week, as you see. We never break and close above this structure, which was a short-term resistant level, but after testing it 1, 2, 3 times, the pair could not break above this structure here and start trading lower, making this possible impulse and flag, and there is a possibility that we may see another leg toward the monthly S1. So I still think we may see, especially if euro got weaker next week against the US dollar, that we may see a break of this flag and a retest of the monthly S1 now, since we never was able to break above the structure up here. Yeah. So we still have this low and we still have these highs, and that is your range you can work with. Actually, this could be a fake out, so the actual range should be this box here. Yeah. EURUSDJPY, as I said last week, we was looking for to short if we reach this area, and we did reach that level on Thursday. It didn't really touch the monthly R1 and a previous high. That would be great if that happened and got the rejection, but the market is never perfect, as many of you knows. So close enough for a possible short from this important level, and now it did break back below the 20 moving average, as you see, and did a retest. So there is a possibility that we may see a possible continuation toward at least the monthly pivot point and this previous neckline here. So if you are holding a short position, I think you should be looking at this area down here as a possible trouble level, which we have the top of the range of this box here been going on for a while. So this level could act as a possible support now, the 134.40 area. Yeah. Euro New Zealand also had some troubles to continue higher. We had a very good and strong day to the upside here, but then last week we've been trading sideways, having issue breaking back above this 20 moving average, which been acting as good dynamic support and resistance in the past here. As you see, the price been playing around this, broke below the channel, broke below the 20 moving average, did a retest, another retest, and last week was this third retest. Let's not forget that this pair did actually break below these lows, break below this low also, putting this move, and then start trading higher. Now it couldn't make a higher high, so we have another lower high here, and it's very, very interesting to see if we gonna continue lower and break these lows and possibly reach these levels down here now after a break of this previous structure. Yeah, on the 4 hour it is more another you see it clearly here, impulse, sideways, another impulse, and now we're going sideways again. Yeah, so it's not the best level to make business at. I think if you want to trade this as a long possibility, you want to wait around these lows and the monthly S1 to try to take a long. And if you like to short it, you need to wait for it to reach the monthly pivot point area up here at a good level for a possible short. You wait to the price to reach this level and try to short it from this area. Yeah, as for now it is inside this range here, in the middle of the range, and you have like 50-50 on both ways that Euro New Zealand can go either ways. Yeah, but for me, I think since we broke below all these lows, we never was able to make higher high that make me think that we may see more downside, or at least another retest to these lows back down here. Yeah, EURUSD, let's go to the weekly. It was trying to break higher, but as you see, the week ended as a very nice inverted hammer or shooting star. The shooting star formation, of course, is not complete because you want to see next week close below the pin bar to call it a shooting star formation, but it is an inverted hammer or a pin bar at these highs up here. We do have also still a very strong bearish divergence on the RSI. We are trading, last week we did trade above monthly R2, but the week ended and closed below the monthly R2 and closed below the previous week's highs. As you see here, we was not able to hold above that. Now if we go to the daily, you see that there was troubles here, lots of long trader trapped here now. I think that this area down here is now a stop loss area and a stop loss pocket above here also. On the daily, we do also have bearish divergence between this high and this high. The divergence is clear here. In a hanging man formation, very strong bearish day, retest, and Friday was another rejection lower. So we start seeing some slowdown in the up move, and on the 4 hour you see we do have this possible triple top formation with also bearish divergence. So we do have bearish divergence on almost all time frame, on the weekly, on the daily, and on the 4 hour we do have bearish divergence. Triple top formation up here based on these tests here, 1, 2, 3, 4 tests on also. And if you're shorting the euro, you want to see a break below this low here. If that happen, if you got the break, then you can target lower. The first trouble area should be if we break this low. Your second level would be these highs here, could act as good support because it was an important resistant level looking left also here and here and here. So this, if you are holding a short, you want to see it break this low, and your first target could be this area, and your second target would be these lows back down here, which is a very good and possible buy level for a continuation in the trend direction. Yeah, so if Euro reach the monthly pivot point, that would be of course a good level to try to buy from it. This is a higher low, and this is the last higher low that could be possibly tested before a continuation in the trend direction. Yeah. Sterling Aussie still stuck at the highs of this lower range, as you see, sideways, building up for a possible breakout. After this very strong bullish day, we was expecting it to make some sideways and continue higher. Now that didn't happen yet. As you see, it is a sideways market in a narrow range, very small bodies, no momentum yet. And on the 4-hour you see it more clearly. We did break above the 20 moving average, and it was a very boring sideways moving market. So we are waiting to see a break of this structure. Either way, we want to see it break above this level. If you're holding along, you want to see a break above, retest, and then there is a possibility for continuation higher. And if it break the lows of the range, which would be this low here, then of course that may send it back down to retest the extreme lows of this range here. Another area of possible buying level that would be leg it 2. Yeah, so wait for confirmation. This gonna give a strong breakout either way, because the market been coiling for a while now, and a breakout gonna give a very good momentum move. Usually when we do have long period of consolidation, we do have a nice and fast trades. Sterling JPY did break above the range. We tried to trade higher, but Friday we went back down below monthly R1 and did close at the top of the range again. Yeah, so it is still a bullish market, as you see. Since we started here, range, breakout, new range, and we had a breakout last week, and we are looking for possible continuation. But since Friday was bearish engulfing happening at the monthly R1 with some bearish divergence, we should probably be a little bit careful on that. And on the 4-hour, we actually still also in a bullish structure until we got this move here, a break below previous structure and a possible retest. Yeah, so it is a high and important level, and if we didn't break above this structure here looking left, I would say try to sell it. But now since we broke above these previous structure, we want to look at it as a possible continuation, or if we had only a fake out here before going back inside this range and trade lower. Yeah, so we need some more confirmation, because this move to the downside could be also a possible correction or a retest of a broken structure and a continuation in the direction of the trend. The trend is clearly to the upside on that on the daily and the weekly and even on the 4-hour. Yeah, but I do like to short monthly R1, and that's what I'm thinking to do here, even though it is against the trend. But I think if we got another retest, that failed to break these highs, giving us a first lower high, then I probably try to take a short and see if we're gonna break below these lows and probably retest of these lows down here. Yeah. For the buy here, in my opinion, I want to see it trade lower toward this low or this area back up here. The monthly pivot point could be a first level, but the best level would be a retest of these lows. That would be much better buy, in my opinion, on this pair. And as you see, we do have a clear area here around the monthly S1 and these previous lows. Very good structure to work with. Sterling USD, what a great performer. As you see, last week went all the way up here, did reach very good levels. Looking left, we are trading inside the Brexit candle for that Brexit week here. As you see, the area down here have only these possible support acting as resistant now based on this one and these tests here. It did almost reach the top of this upgoing channel, so another one where we do have actually a long-term uptrend now. As you see, it is clearly here after breaking the above the 20 moving average for the weekly. We did a retest on that moving average, another retest, and we're still holding above this 20 moving average and trading inside this channel. Now, as we reach the top of this channel, last week was some rejection, as you see here, but it is still a bullish week and broke and closed way above the week before that. And on the daily, we did have this rejection here on Wednesday, which was a very strong rejection that we should be looking at as a possible level or an early warning that we may see some correction from this area up here. So on the 4-hour, you see it even better. What looks like as a possible stop loss hunt, fake out, call it whatever you want, but you can think how many long trader are trapped inside this one, because when this happened, it did look like a very strong green candle before it got rejected all the way back down. Yeah, then we kept crawling higher and higher, but look at these bodies on those green candles. They are not as strong as we had in this move to the upside back down here. Yeah, so the thing that we did, another retest, got rejected again on the 4-hour here, making this shooting star formation at previous high where this rejection started, with bearish divergence on the RSI, start making me think that there is a possibility that this may reverse. As you see here, if you draw your trend line like this, or if you draw it from these lows, also in any way you draw it, the trend line is broken now, and there is a possibility that we may have an early warning for a possible reversal or at least some corrections. Yeah, so early next week, I think any test back up toward this area 1.39 level up here, that would be a good level to try to see if this divergence keep going, especially if the price cannot break above these highs. Then you can try to short it from this level and start looking for a break of these lows is very, very important. So these lows here may act as support, and the major level would be the monthly R1 as a first an important major level, because as you see on the daily, this is a very, very important structure that got broken, never really retested, and that we may see at least a retest back down toward these levels here. So the monthly R1 and this broken structure, that could be your first possible buy level for a continuation of this trend. But as for now, and after this clear rejection, another rejection on Friday, I'm start looking for a possible reversal or at least a correction down. Yeah. New Zealand CAD also at a good structure level, looking left, been acting as good resistant here, but the thing is, we did break above this high here, a retest, and there is a possibility for continuation from here. But last week, guys, as you see, we had the wick coming from the upside on Wednesday, Thursday also rejection, Friday small body candle, was not able to break above these highs. Yeah, and I think as far as we are not breaking above these highs, we probably gonna at least keep trading inside this range, continuing this consolidation in this area up here. Now if we look at the 4 hour, you see this upper range much more clearly now, and you see that we do have a very strong bearish divergence, as you see here. One test, 2, 3, 4 times, and these highs are much higher than these highs, but on the RSI you see it clearly how big the divergence is. Yeah, so you can actually keep selling these highs up here, targeting, sell the highs, target the lows of the range until you see a breakout to the upside, or a breakout below would send it back down to the monthly pivot point. Now we are trading around the monthly R1 area, and there is a possibility if we see a break of these highs here, then of course you can target these important structure up here. Let me go back to the daily. You see how important this structure gonna be. This gonna be a strong structure that may act as resistant when tested. Yeah, New Zealand USD was also sideways, testing to break the monthly R2, which is also a very high level on the price, way from value. Looking left, we do have some structure here, so this area, it is an important area. It was back here, was resistant, we had resistance back here, so as you see, it is an important level. We did a shoot out above that earlier during September 2017, went back inside. RSI start trading lower now, making some divergence, and the thing is that we are trading around the monthly R2. There is a possibility that we may see some correction lower. It is almost the same structure as New Zealand CAD, divergence on the RSI and triple top at monthly R2. You can use also here the 20 moving average on the 4 hour as your filter before you short this market. If you are more of conservative trader, you probably want to wait for a break below the 20 moving average, a clear break, because as you see here, we had a break, but the next candle went back above the moving average, retested, continuation. And the most important thing, that we are not making new highs now. As you see here, no new highs, fake out, retest, retest, trouble area. We see clear that the price may go sideways or ranging up here between monthly R1 and monthly R2 before it probably continue higher. But I think that we may see a break of this trend line, and if that happen, then you may start looking to short this market on the retest. The first trouble would be monthly R1, but if that broken, there is a much of room to the downside after this very strong move without a really deep correction. So monthly R1, monthly R2 could be a range for next week. USDCAD making a very good double bottom at monthly S1. We did trade a little bit below that, but all daily close was back above that. Another retest and back above it. We do have bullish divergence on the RSI. It is important structure level looking left. It was acting as support here and here, even here, and now we do have this possible double bottom with bullish divergence. Friday was a bullish engulfing candle. Since USDCAD broke this structure, these lows here, we never had a real retest of this area. So I think that if you are long, that you could target back toward the monthly pivot point where we should meet some resistance at this area, and that there is a possibility that we bounce back down. But for next week, I think any retest of the monthly S1 area could be a possible buy level. As you see here, it hold, here it did hold. These wicks here, I see them as a possible fake outs only during this was the news candle, as you see. So any retest back down toward this area could be a possible buy. You target this level as first short term, and this level would be the longer term level, yeah. And these bullish candle here on the 4 hour looking very healthy last Friday. So especially if oil correct a little bit lower, that would help USDCAD also to move higher for that retest of the monthly pivot point. USDJP still in a bearish trend also. It did actually test the monthly S2, which was an important level, but let's not forget that now we did break below this. Also was an important level that got broken, as you see here. It did close this gap now, and seems like the monthly S2 acted as a very good support level. And if you look at this very strong candle here, so there was, seems like the elephant did jump in the water here around the 1030 area. Gonna be an important support level based on this candle here. Thursday and Friday was a bearish days, but as you see again, the wicks are coming from the downside, so there is still some bulls trying to push the price. And we do now have on the 4 hour a break above this neckline, giving us a higher high, and we do have a higher low here, higher than this low. So we can start looking for a possible reversal here. We do not have all the element for that yet, but we do have the diversion did start between these lows here already last week, and we do now have structure wise on the 4 hour, we have this higher low, break above these highs, giving us another higher high, and we did break below this low, but never below this important low back down here, which is the extreme level for a possible continuation lower. So we want, if you want to long this, you want to see that this low here keep holding around the monthly S1. So the 110.30 is a very important level if you want to long, and the price did reach this level next week. You can try to long from here based on this 4-hour structure. There is a possibility that we may get a bounce from this level toward the monthly S1 at least. And last, Bitcoins. I hope that you, those of you who followed me on Telegram, did catch this nice move. I think I did publish the, let me see, when was it? Yeah, here we have it. The break, after the break of this structure here, I said that we may try to sell the retest. We got a retest on the 1 hour and start going down, and as I wrote that the 9,000 could be a good buy level, back up, back toward the 12,000, and now we start trading lower again. So based on this move here, now we did test the 9K, which was an important level for a possible that the bulls gonna take this level and try to buy it, and they did. We did the retest now of the 12,013, almost 13 it did reach, and now we start making the bounce back down though. So if you are shorting, I think the 9,000 should be your possible target. We may see some consolidation here, and I think if the 9,000 really got broken, that we may see the 5,000 as a next trouble area. So this structure now, we start at least have some structure to work with. It is not, Bitcoin is not as it was earlier, just only one-way trading. Now we do have lower lows and lower highs. We do have some levels to start watching, which is very, very good. On the 4 hour, you see it even more clear. Break, retest, and there's a possibility that we may reach back down toward these levels down here around the 9,000. That could happen, yeah. So let's go back, and that would be the last pair for today, guys. Once again, if you have any questions, I will give you a couple of minutes for questions as usual. If you have any chart you want me to look at, just let me know in the chat. I will wait for like 30 seconds or so and see if we have any questions in the chat. As for now, if you did like this session, please hit the like button, and feel free to share this session with other traders too. I don't see any questions yet. Sterling New Zealand, okay, let's see. Sterling New Zealand, yeah. As you see here, we when we reach monthly S1, we got a very nice bullish day here. We broke back above this important structure, and now it seems like our very good dynamic support and resistance, the 20 here, as you see, been acting as very good dynamic support and resistance, is getting tested again. Yeah, so we can actually use that as a filter, because you see one test here, support here, broke and retested as resistant, and now we are testing that 20 moving average once again. So if this 20 moving average got really broken and closed above on the daily, that there is a possibility for continuation. But structure wise, based on this move, we do still have on the daily, this was our major low, and we keep putting lower lows and lower highs. So there is a possibility that even though we got this very nice bullish day here, as you see, the bodies of the bullish candles got smaller and smaller. Indecision last week, looking at these 3 days here, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there was no continuation in this strong momentum. Yeah, so I think it is at a level of a decision level to take a decision here, going sideways, making some consolidation inside this range. Now it seems like the momentum is not as strong as before, and yeah, there is a possibility that if you see this range got broken to the downside, this box here, that we may retest the monthly S1, or if we break above this box, that we may see a continuation now, and we may say that the reversal had started. But if we go back to the daily here and look at it like this, you see lower low, lows, highs, another lower low, another lower high, broke way below these lows here, and now there is a possibility that we may getting another lower high, and these 3 candles here are not the most convenient that this may continue higher. Yeah, so the price is at a level of decision making here. The divergence on the RSI is very big, as you see here on the 4-hour time frame, which make one start thinking that we may see a reversal here. But we want to see if that would happen. We want to see a break of this previous low here, retest, then continuation lower. Yeah, and that would be a trend continuation with this ongoing trend. Okay, let's see. Sabah is asking for sterling JPY. Of course, Sabah, we did that, I think. So you just go back and see the recording. We've done sterling JPY earlier during this session. We was talking that we may see this as a possible fake out, and then that we may see the price trading back below inside the range, or we said also that we may seeing a break, retest, and continuation. So this needs some more confirmation for next week. Let's not forget that we are trading at the monthly R1. We do have some bearish divergence on the RSI, and that on the 4-hour now we had this nice impulse, and we still above the 20 moving average. That can be used as filter, that you want to see it broken, retested, then possibly more to the downside if that happens. Yeah, so that is in short, but I did do that, so just see the recording. Okay, Gabriel, see you in the room, buddy. Thanks a lot. thanks to all of you. I don't see any more questions or any charts you want me to look at. So thanks for being here, guys. Once again, if you didn't hit the like button, do that now. If it is your first time in this channel, please do subscribe so you can get all the notification when I go live or when I upload any other videos. So thank you very much, and see you out there. Bye bye all.